You can't come out of your room until you take your medicine. Sounds good, I'm in. Another post reminded me of this. Once when I was little, under 10, not sure exactly, I was sick and my mother tried to get me to take some liquid cold medicine. I refused, because that stuff was nasty. She threatened and pleaded and then finally told me that I was being sent to my room as a punishment and I wasn't allowed to come out until I took the medicine. That sounded like a damn good deal to me. I didn't have to take the medicine, and I could just stay in my room and play with my toys. I happily went off to my room. My mother brought me a plate of food at dinner time and reminded me that I couldn't come out until I took the medicine. I was cool with that. The next morning I got up and started playing in my room while I waited for my breakfast. My mother gave up. I was allowed out of my room and never took the medicine. I was not even close to giving up. I could have held out for days. That medicine was foul. My mom grounded me in my sister's room. It was painted such a dark blue it looked black. The walls were covered with pop star posters. Held basically her musical instruments I could not play and it was boringly depressing. My sister did her grounding in my room done in bright spring colors and colorful flowers and stacked with books she refused to read. We hated getting grounded. I'd get grounded to my room all the time too. Eventually my mom caught on and took all my books out of my room. My parents tried this with my weekly medication, which had harsh side effects. After the attempted isolation failed, they start paying me a $1 per shot. As a kid, some medicines are horrible, and we just didn't realize how beneficial they may have been. I used to be given chewable antibiotics when I was really young. Anyway, I came down sick with something, and was prescribed some tablets. But they were not chewable. Nobody told me that they were not chewable. So of course I went to chew them. And they tasted disgusting. For quite a while afterwards. Whenever I was given tablets when being sick, I would pretend to swallow them. And then hide them anywhere in the house that I could. Fast forward to being in my 20s. And my parents were moving some stuff around in their kitchen. They moved this small cupboard. And found at least half a dozen tablets. Still sitting there after all these years. They suspected that I wasn't swallowing the tablets years ago. And now they finally found some of them. Reminds me of the time I didn't eat anything for 24 hours once when I was 5 or 6. Because my mom told me I couldn't eat anything until I ate my peas. Still don't like canned peas. I quietly sat through 4 whole meals and without taking a bite of those peas. Or eating anything else. Mom gave up and finally threw them away. And fed me something else. Peace and quiet? My own toys? I'll take it. Hopefully your mom learned for the next time you got sick. Robitussin. Huh? Same but different story. When I was also young. Between kindergarten and first grade or so. I, eldest child, caught a cold. My mom bought liquid Robitussin. She gave me some. I spat it out. I cried. It was horrible. It was so bitter. It was the worst taste I'd ever tasted even after orange juice. My mom cajoled, begged, and pleaded me to take it. I finally did. Took a gulp of orange juice. The combo turned to bathtub moonshine in my tiny stomach. I projectile vomited orangered sludge all over my mom. I started crying. She started crying. It's not that bad, sweetheart. I promise. Mommy will take some. Quote, Mommy took some. She gagged. She held a hand to her mouth. She projectile vomited her own Robitussin into her 6-year-old's hair. We both cried some more and went to the shower. She apologized sincerely to me for the disaster and swore I'd never have to take it again. Anyway, we're a Dimetap family now. And we still laugh about it 30 years later. My mom locked me out of the house once until I apologized for being a smart ass. I stayed out, sitting in front of the garage, for 2 hours. I ended up ringing the doorbell. She asked if I was ready to apologize. I asked for a pillow instead 'cause my butt was sore from sitting on the ground. She just sighed and let me in. Another time she locked me out. I grabbed my book, walked 2 minutes to the park and read under the light. I was gone another 2 hours. It was worth it. The book was good to grin. Were you let out for the bathroom at least? Lol. Right? My parents stopped using that as a punishment when they realized I was happier in my room than anywhere else. Lol. I would have bribed you or forced you if necessary. Since it was just a cold, I'd just keep an eye on you. Ha ha ha. Thanks for sharing, mate. Glorious. Wow. That sure backfired. The only thing she had to do was take away your toys until you'd take the medicine. Bad child. The last time my mother made liver and onions. It was a particularly bad piece of liver and I just decided that I couldn't eat it. They made me stay at the table until I finished it. I just sat there until I fell asleep on the table at 10 p.m. I never ate it, and bonus, we never had liver and onions again. What about going to the bathroom? Or did you do it in your room? Where did you do a wee or poo? Ha ha ha. I didn't do timeouts. They didn't work. My favorite was counting to 3. If I had to say 3, punishment happened. I rarely ever had to punish my children. They respected my methods. Cold sweat smile now. A little explanation. I was raised by parents who were determined. My father taught me, medicine doesn't often taste nice, but you have to take it. So we did. My flatmate's little girl got badly burnt and ended up with bad infections because of our water. We lived in a little village. Water came from a stream. She would not take her medicine from her mom. Flatly refused. Screamed. The whole shebang. She was her mom's baby. And my mate was soft. I ended up having to give it to her. She still wasn't keen, but I had taught her the 123 method. Also had explained to her why she needed to take it. Poor wee girl. At least one of those medicines were foul too. And we had an understanding. I'm not above bribery and corruption either. She was a trooper for me. She took that medicine, every last drop, and boy did we celebrate when those bottles were empty. That wee girl is in her late 20s now, and living in another country. But she still loves her auntie, and visits when she comes over. And we giggle when we talk about that bloody medicine. My mother is a doctor. She's also an Indian mother. There's no way in hell that I'm going to challenge that combination of motherly terror. Regardless of age. She should have punished you by sending you to her room.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.